If you think making $4,000 a month from Social Security is impossible, you're dead fucking wrong. But if you think it happens through some secret government agency, some backdoor loophole, or some magic button retirees press when they turn 65, nope, that's not it either. What I'm about to explain to you is not luck. It is not a scam. It is not some fantasy number thrown on a thumbnail to get clicks. It comes down to a few decisions that can either build your benefit into a serious monthly check or permanently shrink it before retirement even starts. And the ugly part is, most people don't find out until after they already claimed. Because Social Security is not just a little form you fill out when you're tired of working. That is how people get caught. They think, I paid into it, I qualify, let me just claim. But that one move can decide whether your check feels like real retirement income or a weak deposit that gets eaten alive by rent, groceries, prescriptions, insurance, and everything else that keeps going up. The system does not stop you and say, hold up, you may be leaving hundreds or thousands of dollars a month on the table. It lets you click the button, lock in the number, and then live with it. So let's talk about the real path to a $4,000 Social Security check. First, you need to understand this. $4,000 a month is possible, but it is not average. The average retiree is not automatically walking into that kind of check. To get there, you usually need three things working together: a strong earnings history, a full 35-year record, and the right claiming age. Miss one of those, and that big number starts falling apart fast. Social Security does not calculate your benefit based on your best year. It does not care that you had one great year where you made more money than usual. It looks at your highest 35 years of earnings. That means if you only worked 30 years, those missing years can count like zeros. If you spent years underpaid, out of work, part-time, or not reporting much income, those years can drag the benefit down. This is where a lot of people get slapped by the math. They worked hard, but the record was not strong enough for long enough. And this is why the people getting the biggest Social Security checks usually were not just high earners once. They were strong earners over and over again. The system rewards consistency. It rewards people who had solid wages for decades. If your earnings were close to the taxable wage cap for many years, now you are in the conversation. If your earnings were lower, you can still get the most out of your own benefit, but $4,000 may not be realistic. That is not an insult. That is the formula. But here's where things get interesting. Even if you did everything right with your earnings, you can still wreck the check with one bad claiming decision. Claiming at 62 may feel good because the money starts coming in, but early claiming usually means you are accepting a permanent reduction, not a temporary discount, permanent. That smaller check follows you month after month, year after year, while prices keep climbing around you. At full retirement age, you get your baseline benefit. That is your 100%. But if you wait until 70, you can earn delayed retirement credits, which can make your monthly check much larger. That is where the strategy lives. Same worker, same earnings record, same person, but a totally different check depending on when they claim. And that is why people who laugh at Social Security strategy usually end up being the ones who needed it most. Now, does this mean everybody should wait until 70? No. Real life matters. If you are sick, laid off, broke, or you need the income to survive, then claiming earlier may be the move. Nobody should pretend every person has the luxury to wait. But what I am saying is this: do not claim early because you are uninformed. Do not claim early because someone at work said, take it before the government runs out. Do not claim early because you never looked at the difference between 62, full retirement age, and 70. That is how people get played. The second move is checking your earnings record. This is boring until it costs you money. Go look at your Social Security statement. Look at your reported earnings year by year. Are there missing years? Are there years that look wrong? Are there low years that could be replaced if you keep working? Because if you are still earning solid income, newer years may replace weaker years in your top 35. That means the final stretch of your career can still matter. A lot of people think their benefit is already set in stone. Not always. The third move is understanding that the $4,000 check is not about age 65. That is one of the biggest myths. People act like 65 is the magic Social Security number because Medicare starts around then. But Social Security and Medicare are not the same decision. You can start Social Security at 62, full retirement age may be 67 for many people, and the biggest delayed benefit can come at 70. So if someone says, Do this at 65 to get $4,000. Be careful. The real question is not what happens at 65. The real question is what your earnings record says and when you decide to claim. And here is the part that should make you sit up. The difference between claiming early and claiming later can be life-changing. It can affect how much room you have in your budget every single month. It can affect whether you can handle medical costs. It can affect whether you rely more heavily on savings. It can affect a surviving spouse if you are married. This is not just a personal finance detail. This is the retirement paycheck that shows up when work stops. So the path is simple, but it is not easy. Build 35 strong earning years. Fix or verify your earnings record. Know your full retirement age. Compare your benefit at 62, at full retirement age, and at 70. And stop treating Social Security like some casual form you fill out because you hit a birthday. That check is not just money. It is leverage. It is stability. It is protection against living too long and watching everything else get more expensive. So yes, a $4,000 Social Security check is possible, but it is not handed out because you asked nicely. It is built through earnings, protected through timing, and destroyed by bad decisions. The system will not beg you to wait. It will not warn you like a friend. It will simply give you the amount you claimed and keep sending it. And that is why, before you take $1, you need to ask the question most retirees ask too late. Am I claiming because this is the smartest move, or am I about to shrink my own check because nobody ever explained the game?